ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Check 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 check. Ha 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 ha.
Is that working?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just keep.
123试音，123。123试音123。本当？じゃあ大丈夫。多分カメラ。123试音123。
同传试音123，谢谢。
试音123，试音123。
จากที่ 直接
不是同时记的事情。 各位记者朋友们，
Friends from the media, good afternoon. This is the first working day after the Spring Festival. Welcome to the regular conference. Now, questions, please.
谢谢发言人。北京日报记者提问：蛇年春节可以说是活力。
Beijing Daily, the Spring Festival of this year of the snake was unfolding with strong vitality and a festive atmosphere. We noted that people around the world celebrated the New Year with colorful celebration activities, and China travel kept trending as foreign visitors came to China. Some commentators said that the Spring Festival has gained worldwide popularity. What's your comment? This Spring Festival is the first one since the inscription of the festival on the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage List. We have glad to see that the Chinese New Year is becoming a worldwide celebrated festival, with nearly 20 countries designating the Spring Festival as an official holiday, and Spring Festival customs celebrated in almost 200 countries and regions. The festival was celebrated with joy in such activities as traditional temple fair, dragon and lion dance, float, parade, and hanfu clothing experience. Foreign friends have shown growing enthusiasm for visiting China during the New Year. Data from third-party platforms indicate that inbound arrivals during this year's Spring Festival leaped by 150% year-on-year, hitting a new high. In Chinese culture, the snake symbolizes agility, wisdom, and vitality. In this year of the snake, we will forge ahead with an enterprising spirit, focus on China's development, and join hands with other countries in building a bright future featuring win-win cooperation. The joyful Chinese New Year is a celebration of hope and new beginnings. We hope that the spirit of harmony and inclusiveness, as well as vibrancy and prosperity, will serve as a force for unity and inspiration for the world in the year to come. Next one, please.
Hello, Laura Bicker from BBC.
BBC 也祝你新年快乐。特朗普总统说，他不着急同习近平主席进行通话。美方之前已经宣布了对华加征关税，中方也宣布了反制措施。中方对此有何回应？对美方说什么话？
中方注意到了有关报。
China noted relevant reports. During their phone call on January 17th between the two heads of government, the Chinese side has made clear its principled position. The two sides also reached a principled consensus on mutually beneficial cooperation. What we need now is not unilateral additional tariffs, but dialogue and consultation based on equality and mutual respect.
Dialogue take place.
什么时候将进行通话？
已经回答了你。
I have already answered your question.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
Good afternoon, Mark.
CNN 追问中美之间的关税问题，中方是否认为美方将会以友好的形式来与同中方推动这一问题的解决？
美方以芬太尼问题为由，
The United States uses the fentanyl issue as a pretext to levy 10% tariffs on Chinese imports. China deploys and firmly opposes it. What China takes is necessary to protect its legitimate rights and interests. Trade wars and tariff wars have no winners. Threatening China with pressure leads nowhere. China urges the United States to correct its wrongdoings, solve each other's concerns through equal-footed consultation, and promote the sound, stable, and sustainable development of China-U.S. relations.
追问一下，美方对中方的加征关税对中方的消极影响有多少？
问题建议
On specific issues, I'd refer you to competent authorities.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
Thank you, spokesperson.
阿纳多卢，美国总统特朗普称美方将接管并且拥有加沙，并且将加沙的巴勒斯坦人安置到邻国，比如说格鲁吉亚或者是埃及。中方对此有何评论
8人制8。
China always believes that the Palestinians governing Palestine is the basic principle of post-conflict governance. We oppose forced transfer targeting Gazan people. We hope that all parties will take the ceasefire and post-conflict governance as an opportunity to bring the Palestinian issue back to the right track of political settlement based on the two-state solution so as to realize lasting peace in the Middle East. Next one, please.
Mahdi Faraj from Rudao.
卢道，我的第一个问题是，伊拉克发展之路是中国“一带一路”倡议的一部分吗？还是说对于中方项目有影响的一个项目？第二个问题是，中国和叙利亚之间的贸易额有多少？2024年12月8日之后有什么变化？中方对于包括叙利亚境内库尔德人以及各族人民的权利有什么看法？
提了3个问题。
You asked 3 questions. On first question, Iraq is an important partner of China in Belt and Road cooperation. China is ready to form closer synergy between the Belt and Road Initiative and the Iraqi Development Road and work for new progress of the practical cooperation between the two sides. Second question, in 2024, the trade volume between China and Syria was $389 million. As for your specific question about any change in trade volume, I'd refer you to competent authorities for further information. Third question, the future of Syria should be decided by the Syrian people. We support Syria in advancing its domestic political process under the Syrian-led, Syrian-owned principle, and through inclusive dialogue find a nation restructuring plan that meets people's aspirations. Next one, please.
Yonhap News Agency. At the invitation of the NPC Standing Committee Chairman Zhao Leji, ROK's National Assembly Speaker, will visit China today and will attend the opening ceremony of the Asian Winter Games in Harbin. Can you confirm whether the speaker will meet with President Xi Jinping during his visit?
应全国人
At the invitation of Zhao Leji, Chairman of the Standing Committee of National People's Congress, ROK National Assembly Speaker Wang Wen-sik will lead a delegation to visit China from February 5th to 9th. China has released a readout which you may refer to. As regard to the arrangement of the meeting, you may stay tuned. Next one, please.
Good afternoon, Bloomberg News.
彭博社我们报道称，巴拿马有可能会取消同香港某公司的合同，取消对他们对于巴拿马运河某港口的控制。中方对此有何评论？
香港特区政府
The Hong Kong SAR has already made a response about the relevant company's operation there. Panama is a hot destination of investment and is well known for its good rule of law and transparent business environment. We believe that Panama will provide fair and just environment for Chinese companies and other foreign companies to do business there. Next one, please.
question from Reuters.
透社。请打开自己的麦克风。Could you please turn on your microphone?
The United States Postal Service and
美国的邮政部门表示，他们将不会再接收中国和香港邮来的包裹。美方对于很多低额的包裹有关税豁免的政策，但现在这一政策被取消，中方对此有何评论？
请你再重复一遍你的问题。
Could you please repeat your question? Could you please repeat your question? 请再重复一下自己的问题。Could you please repeat your question?
the question is the United States Postal Service.
美国邮政部门在周二的时候表示，他们不再接受从中国和香港邮来的包裹。特朗普已经下令对于符合临时关税豁免条件的中国进口商品征收关税，中方对此有何评论？
你提到的具体问题。
For anything specific, I'd refer you to competent authorities. Let me say more broadly is that the Chinese government calls on the United States to stop politicizing and weaponizing trade and economic issues, stop going after or suppressing Chinese companies. China will take necessary measures to safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of Chinese companies. Next one, please.
You've just said that China will take
刚才说，中方将会采取必要的措施来保护中方的合法权利。具体措施是什么？
建议你向中方的主管部。
I'd refer you to competent authorities for further information. Next one, please.
Question for Anadolu Agency.
阿纳多卢。我想要追问一下关于巴拿马的相关问题。巴拿马表示将不会再与中方续签“一带一路”相关文件。特朗普日前威胁要收回巴拿马运河的所有权，并称中方对巴拿马运河的控制和影响违反了巴拿马运河的国际中立性。中方对此有何评论？
重复你的问题。
Could you please repeat your question?
Yes, please. Would you please repeat your question?
请重复一下自己的问题。Could you please repeat your question? 巴拿马表示将不会续签同中方“一带一路”协议。之前，特朗普表示要收回巴拿马运河的所有权，称中方对运河的控制和影响违反了巴拿马运河的国际中立性。中方对此有何评论？
近期，美方在巴拿
Recently, the United States has made irresponsible moves on this issue and even smeared and attacked relevant cooperation. China firmly opposes relevant moves and made serious démarches to the United States. Let me stress that since its proposal in 2013, its cooperation areas and scope have kept expanding, and it has become a popular international public good and international cooperation platform with extensive participation. Over the past decade and more, parties have upheld the Silk Road spirit of peace, cooperation, openness, and inclusiveness, mutual learning, and mutual benefit, followed the principle of extensive consultation and joint contribution for shared benefit, worked for fruitful outcomes in Belt and Road cooperation, and contributed to enhancing the friendship and promoting the economic and social progress of relevant countries, which is widely welcomed by these countries and people. Currently, cooperation between China and Panama under the framework of the Belt and Road Initiative is carried out normally and has achieved fruitful outcomes. We hope relevant parties will strengthen confidence, resist external interruption, and make the right decision while keeping in mind the overall bilateral relations and the long-term interests of the people of the two countries. Next one, please.
Another question from Reuters.
路透社，美国已经对中国的一些产品加征10%的关税，原因是芬太尼问题。而中方也对部分美国产品加征了关税，中方是否会采取更多的措施来打击芬太尼的出口？会否来解决美方对于芬太尼问题的关切？
中国是世界上禁毒。
China is among the toughest countries in the world in narcotics in terms of its implementation and the policy. The fentanyl issue is the U.S. own issue, and the root cause lies in the United States. In the spirit of humanity and goodwill, China has given support to the U.S. response to this issue at the request of the United States. China, back in 2019, announced the scheduled class of fentanyl-related substances. We are the first country in the world to do so. In recent years, China and the United States have carried out practical cooperation in counter-narcotics and in terms of the scheduled substance intelligence sharing, individual case cooperation, and the exchanges of the counter-narcotics techniques as well as interactions. We have made a lot of progress, and it is there for all to see. However, the United States, in disregard of our fruitful cooperation, has levied 10% tariffs on Chinese imports to the United States on the issue of fentanyl. China has deployed and firmly opposes it and has taken necessary measures to safeguard its legitimate rights and interests. Shifting blame can't solve the issue. Trade wars and tariff wars have no winners. Suppressing and threatening China is not the right way to make interactions with the Chinese side. Reducing the demands for drugs at home and enhancing law enforcement cooperation is the fundamental way for the United States to solve the fentanyl crisis. China will firmly safeguard its legitimate rights and interests.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
Another question from Reuters.
路透社，泰国总理正在访问中国。此前，泰国的政府 称将会遣返30多名自2014年逃到泰国的中国维吾尔族人。
我不了解你提到的具体。
I'm not aware of what you mentioned. Let me say more broadly is that in illegal migration, China's position is consistent and clear. We firmly oppose any form of illegal migration and oppose any move that embolden or even support illegal migration. China is a country under the rule of law. We will strengthen and step up law enforcement cooperation so as to solve relevant issues. Next one, please.
One last question from
路透社，欧委会的主席称，需要对于同中方欧委会的主席称，需要继续降低同中国贸易关系的风险，也需要以建设性的方式来推进，来加强欧方的利益。同时呢，要推动贸易之外的相关交往。冯德莱恩称，中方需要加强同欧盟之间的对话。现在，世界范围内贸易的环境变得更加有竞争性。
As we speak, as changes unseen in a century rapidly unfold and the world turning into a less stable, uncertain place, risk of division, fragmentation, and disorder are looming large, and China-EU relations have all the more strategic importance and global influence. China attaches great importance to its ties with the EU and views the Europe as its comprehensive strategic partner and important and independent pillar in the multipolar world. And we hope that the EU will also become China's reliable cooperation partner. This year marks the 50th anniversary of our diplomatic ties. We are at a crucial stage to build on our past progress. China is willing to work with the EU to implement the important common understandings between the two leaders, celebrate the 50th anniversary, hold high-level exchanges, step up strategic communication and policy coordination, enhance mutual trust, expand cooperation, properly handle differences, respond to global challenges, and promote the sound development of bilateral ties so as to turn the world into a more certain and stable place.
NBC 回到关于关税的问题。特朗普对华加征10%的关税，涉及的是数千亿中方出口到美方的产品，但是中方的反制关税只涉及140亿美元来自美国的产品，这是彭博社报道所提到的数字。为什么中方没有对更多的美国产品施加征关税？
关于这个问题，我刚才
I have just made clear China's position on this issue. For anything specific, I'd refer you to competent authorities for more information.
好，下一个问题。
Next one, please.
Hi. In your comment just now about
你刚才提到了关于巴拿马的问题，你提到中方谴责美方的行为，对美方的行为表示强烈不满。对具体什么行为表示不满？
我刚才在回答问题的时候应该说得很清楚了。
I just made it pretty clear in my response. We lodged démarche to the United States on United States remarks as well as distortion of China-Panama cooperation. On this, we have lodged démarche to the U.S. side.
Thanks. That's much clearer.
我有2个更多的问题。第一是关于泰国总理的问题，他本周正在访问中国。泰国方面昨天表示将会对泰缅边境进行停电，来打击电诈行为。中方对此是否知情？是否将会在总理访华期间提出这一问题？第2个问题是，中方对于谷歌关于经济间谍的行为提出了调查，中方对此能否补充更多的细节？
你刚才提到了泰国总理
As regard to Thai PM's visit to China, we will release timely information. Please stay tuned. As regard to the recent strain of cross-border vicious cases related to telecom fraud, China has attached great importance to it and has worked with relevant countries to discuss relevant measures to solve this issue. China welcomes robust measures by relevant country. China is willing to work with Thailand and relevant countries to beef up law enforcement cooperation, crack down on online gambling and telecom fraud, so as to safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of Chinese citizens overseas, as well as keep the exchanges between China and other countries safe and sound and in order.
关于你提到的
As regard to the last question, I'm not aware of what you mentioned, but let me say more broadly is that the Chinese government attaches great importance to IP protection, and we stand for protecting IP rights of owners in a fair and just way. At the same time, we also oppose the United States abusing state power to go after and suppress Chinese citizens. China will take measures to safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of Chinese citizens.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
还有其他问？
Back to Gaza.
回到关于加沙的问题，特朗普总统表示，美方将会拥有加沙，并且有可能会考虑向该地区派遣美方的军队。中方对此有何评论？关于加沙的重建和发展，中方会否同美国进行合作？
我刚才已经阐明了我们的立场。
I just made clear our position. As regard to the post-conflict governance in Gaza, China is very clear-cut in the principle that is the Palestinians governing Palestine. So we oppose forced transfer targeting Gaza people, and we also hope that relevant parties will take the ceasefire and the post-conflict governance as an opportunity to bring the Palestinian issue back to the right track of political settlement based on the two-state solution so as to realize lasting peace in the Middle East.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Are there any more questions? If not, then let's call it a day. Thank you.